Hello guys, so this week I raced the London 6-day under 21 Cup. So I was looking at that footage, can't be doing that, it's too dark, you can't see my face, so I'm just gonna have to say it all over again. Anyway, yeah, so I'm recording this now because I didn't do any vlogging before the race or really much on the first day either. So yeah, making up for that now. So before the race, some of you have seen from the video, about a month before, 6 weeks before, I had a crash. A day pre-T, that was pretty annoying. Had to stay off for a few days because of my injury, and then straight after that I got ill for another few days, so that ended up being a total of a good week off the bike. So that was pretty frustrating, and then from there I think it was about 5 weeks exactly, 4 or 5 weeks until London 6-day. So for that little period I was, having to train as, try and get my fitness back up, which was, it was hard because the whole season I'd raced more than I should have done, racing nearly every single weekend since February, and a lot more during the week. So I've probably done, I've done a lot of racing, and yeah, I would have taken my winter break right there if it wasn't for 6 day, but I had to try and rebuild. Anyway, so yeah, did lots of intervals, lots of hard rides, and I was struggling to recover mainly just because I hadn't had a good proper break to reset and build my base from scratch as a normal winter would be. Anyway, I did a few crits before the race, and those didn't go so good. The second of which I literally got spat in 10 minutes, which was really frustrating and massively bad for the head, which makes a massive difference in cycling, as I'm sure you all know. Yeah, but it turned out actually there was another reason which influenced why I got spat in 10 minutes, and we'll come to that later on in the video. Anyway, yeah, so coming into before the race, like I said, I didn't actually record anything on the first day. I wasn't even going to make a video because I really wasn't feeling good about the race. I had no confidence at all, which is very much unlike me. I'm normally way overconfident, especially when it comes to anything involving a sprint. Yeah, so I didn't have a lot of confidence for it, and just generally feeling really bad and down, and it wasn't a good time. But yeah, so coming into the first day, I was doing the same partner as day pre-T, which was Tom, really strong rider and first year junior. So yeah, we started the race. We got jersey team number 15, green and blue, Team Colgate.
The girls are on me, damn, everybody pay attention. This right here is my pretty boy swag. Swag.
It's a marathon points race, so each night has 160 laps with sprints on every 10 laps, points 5, 3, 2, 1 standard. And if you gain a lap in marathon racing, or if you gain a lap during 6-day marathons, that's like a lap 2 on the next level compared to everyone else, so points become irrelevant and laps are always counted before points. So you could have 0 points, and if you're a lap ahead of everyone, you win the race, so laps trump points in these races. Surprisingly, somewhere in the first half of the race, we ended up, we went for a sprint, went pretty hard, we ended up getting a gap with another team, and we actually had a good half a lap, if not more than half a lap. We were nearly a third of the way back from the back of the bunch at one point, which was amazing. But not long after that, my legs blew. I started cramping, which for me is really rare. Cramping, I pretty much never cramp, and yeah, I cramped there, and it literally, my calf, I just couldn't get any power out, so unfortunately, everything came back together basically. A couple guys bridged, and then more guys bridged, and then it just all slams back. Grupo compacto, as they say. And after that, we got a few more points, but yeah, nothing really happened, no one took any laps. And we ended up after day 1 being 6th overall. So it wasn't too bad, to be fair, considering there were 16 teams and my legs felt absolutely horrendous. 6th overall, about half the teams ended up losing a lap or more. We had 13 points, so yeah, it wasn't too bad. I was content, and Tom did massive work to keep us on the lead lap, because yeah, I was really suffering on the first night. So after the first 2 nights of marathon racing for the under 21s, we had 8 of us do a Zwift race for the first 2 nights. So first night I was racing, and I was like, I've done a lot of Zwift, like, I've got the experience, so hopefully I can do something well in the Zwift race. There was some reasonable prize money there as well, so I was like, got to try and give a good performance out.
Well, we've got to just used it actually. There was an aero power up that's now gone. It's in the feather power up though.
That is such an early move, but it looks like he's got an amazing gap. Will Roberts, only 200 metres to go. Can he hold up?
This could be the winning sprint from William Roberts from Great Britain. And it certainly is the final push to the line, and he comes away with the win. William Roberts used a feather up right at the very end, got the gap that he needed.
And a really nice second place pace as well from the British rider, Red Walters, who I know is a keen Zwifter. He knows how to race as well. So that just really proves that you need to know how to race to really be able to get a result in these races.
So that was pretty cool. Pretty close to the win. Guy got away in the last kilometre and I couldn't quite catch him in the sprint. So yeah, it was a fun race. God, I love Zwift racing. Yeah, so after the Zwift race, the guy who comes back to me is like, yeah, your tyre doesn't fit your bike. I'm like, well, what do you mean? I've been racing it. It's been fine. It's like, no, the tyre rubs on the frame. And honestly, I'm pretty sure I checked. I could have sworn that I'd checked, and I don't know how I would miss that. But it turns out the tyre rubbed on the frame, which would be why I got spat in 10 minutes from that crit. So yeah, that makes sense. And then he was also like, yeah, your cassette doesn't fit your frame either. I was like, what? But it's a 10-speed on a 10-speed wheel. I don't know. It's a mess. New race bike coming at the end of the year. That'll be awesome. And yeah, anyway, on to the next day.
Day 2, how are you feeling?
Day 2. First day, it was hard. I think just like hopefully just wanted to get the legs like used to the gear and the track and stuff. So yeah, legs being a bit fatigued today, but hopefully it's a good fatigue that just sort of loosens the legs off and we can you know, smash it.
How are you feeling then? Jumping on the rollers?
A bit sore.
Bit sore?
But I think give it a bit of a warm up, maybe a quick track warm up, and we should be alright, I think.
Great stuff.
Let's see. That's alright after the 2-inch splinter came out of it. Straight out, but yeah, it's alright. Get back on and get the job done, I think.
Proper Ironman then, yeah?
Oh yeah.
Feeling fairly fatigued, but like the muscles feel a bit looser than yesterday. If that even makes any sense. So fingers crossed again that I've got a good performance in the legs.
Looking forward to seeing it. Tom?
Yeah, I feel alright, you know. Legs are loosened up. Smash it, I think.
Ready to go, yeah?
The legs are feeling slightly more looser than they were the day before. I think getting used to the cadence was one thing because the gear restrictions for us was 53.15, which I don't know what that is in gear inches. I'll put it on screen. But that's a lot smaller than I'd normally run. I'd run 52.14 normally on an indoor track like that, especially in Madison where it's quite fast racing. We played it a lot less risky. We didn't really go for any laps this time.
Okay, day 2.
Yeah, so that was a lot better than yesterday. Tried the caffeine gels and I did better. So you know, caffeine I think might just be working for me. So yesterday we got 11 points in losing laps. Today we got 13 points and 5th instead of 6th. So yeah, definitely an improvement.
Okay.
And hopefully we can keep that trajectory going up. Yeah, I think I felt a lot more confident. Just like once getting used to the velodrome again and slinging. And yeah, second half we really built some good flow with the timings and everything.
Legs felt better today to both of us, I think. You know, we went off the front a couple of times, timed it perfectly with changes. Got, 13 points, so good day really. We've got the Zwift race coming up soon, so got up and eat for that, I think. Fuel up and yeah.
You gonna smash that one, yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And it's Thomas Day now on the front. He's got a really small advantage, which is soon going to be taken over, I'm sure.
This is a huge performance. Can he go all the way from here, Danny? This is a long way out from the finish.
It is. I don't think so. 1 kilometre to go.
For Charlie Calvert, number 2, there's no way he can come back from there. But look at the effort on the face of Thomas Day. Absolutely putting it in. Huge push to try and come away with the win here. It's esports, second night of competition at the London 6-day. 12 seconds is the gap now. Inside 1 kilometre to go. Tom Day really pushing it home. Heart rate's gone over 200 beats now.
And it looks like Thomas Day is going to take the win for this esports race tonight, and it's going to be a fight for the other finishing positions.
Well, I thought I'd give it a go at 3k to go and just smash it as hard as I could. I gave it my all and managed to pull it off, so it was alright.
Did you think you'd gone too soon, or were you quietly confident there?
Well, I did quite a lot of track pursuing and like time trialling, so I knew I had the watts. It's just whether or not, I don't know, yeah, just went full gas.
But you must be delighted, and in front of these crowds here as well.
Oh, it's amazing. London crowd's always the best.
Thank you so much. We'll let you warm down.
He managed to get away on his own and take the win, which is pretty cool. And that was like all on TV and stuff. So yeah, that was pretty cool. And yeah. So coming to the final day, not gonna lie, my legs are pretty messed up. I think everyone's were, to be fair. I also had a bit of a sore throat which ended up really coming to get me the day after, but that's alright. We made a proper plan this day of what we're going to do, how we're going to do throughout the day, when we're going to eat, have gels, etc. And I think that definitely made a big difference and probably helped a bit. So yeah, final day of Madison, and we had a plan. We were like, well, we're in 5th. We could either try and get points, but even fourth place was a good chunk of points ahead, and it would have taken a lot to catch them on points. So we thought, you know what, let's just risk losing a couple places, because the difference between 5th and 7th isn't really that, no one's really that fast. And let's just try and take a lap and focus all our eggs in one basket, because points aren't going to get us anywhere really.
Feeling pretty tired, got a slightly sore throat, but warming up, not feeling too bad. So hopefully we can churn out and get the dream of take the lap, take the win, all the glory, and go home. So yeah, actually we have to take 2 laps now.
Why 2 laps all of a sudden?
The rule is if before the final Madison a team gets to 100 points, they automatically get a free lap added to their tally. So the winning team currently now have 100 points and an extra lap. So sit, ride it, how we feel, and see what happens.
We'll get on the track in a minute and see how things respond, yeah?
See how it goes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we thought, okay, let's wait till everyone's getting a bit tired later on in the race, and let's try and take a lap.
Eyes glow like 2 fires, movement so graceful. Wildcat in the jungle with dangerous claws. Movement she anticipates, a sight is set on her prey. Like stars in the darkest night, crystallize, fascinating. If you wanna stay alive, if you don't wanna be her prey, don't stand in her way. Run, run, run away. Crystallize, 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 watching her prey. Crystallize, 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 fascinating.
He's got the bunch inside ahead. 10 metres to go. 5 metres to go. London, they've done it. It's a lap taken for Team 15. And that immediately will see them move up into 2nd place as the only other team on 0 laps.
Don't stand, don't say, don't look back, she anticipates. No chance if you become prey. 2 stars in the darkest night, a crystallized fascination.
We went for the lap at the exact right time. The bunch squished together. I slung Tom in. I was kind of hoping for him to take a lap, but I didn't want to tell him to because my legs felt bad, and I was like, you know, I didn't have the confidence to commit to it. But yeah, he went around the bunch, got the gap, and I was like, oh no, what have we got ourselves into? But yeah, you know, I carried it on. He carried it on, boom, 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 a few turns each later, and we took a lap. And I have to say, like, taking a lap with the, you know, the commentator like shouting us, and the crowd obviously getting all revved up from the commentator. There was literally like, that is like the pinnacle, the peak of my cycling career so far. When the crowd going absolutely ballistic when we took a lap, it was literally like the coolest thing. Yeah, so that was absolutely amazing. And in taking that lap, that put us up to 2nd overall, which is pretty good. The guys in 1st had another lap already on us because, so there's a rule in Madison racing, if you have 100 points or more before the final race, you get an extra lap for free. So they were already lap up and they had 100 odd points. And then they ended up taking another lap later on in the race, so they were definitely out of reach. But yeah, we ended up with 2nd overall. We finished the race. We managed, the bunch pretty much stayed together. We stayed in the bunch, so that was like amazing. And considering like how I felt before the race, I was like so hyped. I was already sort of content with 5th at that point, considering how my legs felt. But yeah, it's pretty amazing to get 2nd overall, and yeah, a lot of hype. So yeah, that was the end of the racing. No more Zwift racing that night, luckily, because we were pretty ruined. You know, we just got to chill out and watch the rest of the elite guys race in the 6th day. So that's that was, you know, it was pretty awesome. I got ill after the race, so now I'm taking a couple weeks off the bike completely to, you know, reset, make sure my legs are fully recovered before I start my winter base and you know, ramp up the hours for winter and preparing for next year. Anyway, I think that's all I've got to say for this video. It was a really cool experience. Massive thanks to my coach and Tom's dad for coming and supporting us, which was really awesome. And also thanks to Martin for letting us into the event. Anyway, that's going to be the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like, give it a comment, you know, it all helps in the YouTube algorithm. And thanks for watching.